This is Deb Helfrich, hashtag redheaded She-Hulk. Do not test me. I'm extraordinarily rare in being able to game tests. I don't know. My whole educational career, I just knew how to get good grades. It just didn't take any effort. And like staying alive in 2021 just taking effort. And I was wanting to be challenged in my learning. Nobody just ever got around to asking me complex enough questions. So I'm here to report to you in every way, shape, or form. Reversing presbyopia. One of the more hard things to do. Losing 160 pounds, I found that relatively simplistic. This eyesight situation is dark circles. I mean, there's too much space here. There's this whole pool. Like, I think that somehow, some way, my eyes are too far in. I don't think they used to be. And I think this is because of too much forwardness on the head. So then we get this back, but then when playing with this, make this work. It's really pretty incredible what human bodies can achieve. And really fucked up what human civilization demands from these precious human bodies. The way that human civilization targeted Black bodies. I never got it. Africa always had my back. And I've always been able to avoid the delusion of white supremacy. A little bit better on the eyesight. A lot worse on the lack of consistent internet access. Really scared. Really scared. My work is crucial. Right now, my work is the only work I can do. The world is collapsing. Civilization is crumbling. And nobody knows how to think clearly. This is astounding to me that nobody is searching for philosophers, queens, redheaded She-Hulks. No one. All right, life-centric thinking. First, do no harm to any molecule of life. It's really that simple. Now, There was the cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Really ripped apart the circuitry of mind-body interaction. Just, just, just to have a few men in a church during Descartes' lifetime have their ego stroked, have their fears assuaged, have the rest of the people who understood their experience end up being Galileo. I know I'm mixing historical figures, but it's important, right? We don't actually know when the church was all up in its rampaging days. This be Christianity, Catholicism. I don't quite know. I mean, I know there's like a subset. Nah, I don't have enough interest in getting the dates right to really be able to line Galileo and Descartes up. I mean, in a sense, Galileo would have been first, but his dates just long ago. I do test myself. One of the things I always like to test myself on is how powerful is evolutionary logic. I've gotten a little bit stuck with a question you can't ask Google. I mean, probably you could, but I want to figure it out. The question I stumped myself on was, how come there's no bears on Africa? Is there a bear, a mammalian bear native to Africa? I just don't have any data on Himalayan bears. The closest I can geolocate pandas. There's your ebony and ivory for you. Bears. Where did bears come from? You'd think as a polar bear I would have gotten this information from the morphic fields, but I'm just not quite sure. Well, what's the where bears come from? mammalian-wise. They're not primates. They're not like big cats. Not like the rhino, hippo. They're not giraffes. Is they? I don't know. Have I tested myself enough? You can't test me. Can't touch this. Wait till you see MC Hammer and me have a little philosophical discussion. I'm waiting for that day. Truthfully. But bears. So why this is important and why I want to reason this out. I don't want a pat answer because the pat answer might be wrong. The pat answer might have been from the perspective of Linnaeus, who's a motherfucking racist. That was the late 1700s. So no, Linnaeus is on my shit list. And, I just don't think that I think some of the earliest assumptions amphibians could have come out of the water on any landmass. So like frogs, like Costa Rica, right? The most diverse ecosystems that remain. Reptiles and then birds, then again, any landmass. The platypus is sort of like an early mammal. But by the time we hit mammals, so watch my reasoning here. All humans are Africans ancestrally. Are all mammals? This is the inquiring mind wants to really think this through. So, I go back with the migrations, right? Migrations of mammals had to be overland. So this explains why there are lions and tigers in Africa and Asia. The migration of lions and the evolution into tigers. It's way too cold. I mean, okay, there was a Siberian tiger or two, but to cross the land bridge doesn't seem like it. Mountain lions, smaller, more agile. But I don't really know enough about South American mammals. But I mean, there's llamas and stuff, but rhinos and hippos? Too big. No, they are not migrating. And I would think some of the animals would have come on the ships, some of the smaller ones. Food, livestock, predominantly. that's not really that big. And occasionally, I'm sure some of the rich people just love to be making shit up to do with their money. But I would think in early days when we talked about Africans going on row to South America, utility would have been, because it just seems that one route. It's entirely erroneous to think that there was just sort of one migration through that Russian land bridge. Should that have actually existed? For many millennia, Africans went on rowabout, went longitudinally a lot earlier and through a lot more subsequent migrations before we ever went north. So I think that Africans went on rowabout and established what we would call indigenous civilizations. They weren't. Because no human spontaneously combusted on any landmass but Africa. And bears are the great question. Where did bears originate from? What other mammalian cousins? That's what I'm trying to. I don't know where bears came from. So giraffes from smaller grazing herd animals, and then they specialized up to the tippy top. Okay. Bears are carnivores, so not grazers. Nah. We now thought this through too much to not see what I can get for us. So how did giraffes evolve? It's to say that the giraffe originated from Eurasia. I don't know, they're not saying much here. I mean, definitively. Some images. What's going on? interest. Okay, so this one's Sci News. Yeah. So it's sort of like a Musi combo. Musi combo. I'm gonna have to. I like this. I like this. Let me get this to you. So this is from scinews.com. So it was a like small dog looking thing. Protosmerytherium, I don't know. Then Canthumerex, a bigger doggy kind of thing. Then it split off to like a moose thing, which is like the okapi, and then a much longer necked Samotherium. Okay. So then we should be able to do this for bears. So there's Asiatic bear. Polar bear is the latest. This we get for sure. Sloth bear. I don't know even how did you get a sloth bear? There's a little sea otterness going on here. So sort of, they say that I guess a sloth. Polar bears did not descend from brown bears. Ursus, yes, we know Ursus, evolution of grizzly bears. Polar bears evolved just 150,000 years ago. So sloth. I see was an interesting thing here on sea otters that show sort of walruses into bears. I don't know. Don't forget the aquatic mammals. Planet of the orcas. Orcas and whales, Dad. Aquatic mammals. Okay. Aquatic mammals. There's a whale thing here, and real big whales. Um, then like a porpoise. Then some more sharky sorts of things, but sort of then like a fox of the sea. Cuchicidius? I don't know. And then that sort of becomes an actual sort of dog-looking thing in Indo-Lias, which seems to be about 50 million years ago, and then the hippopotamus is 25 million years ago. It's very, very interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, I guess that's enough of me reading about trying to piece together mammalian evolution. Strange that don't come up much. Nothing important come up much anymore. That's the problem. That's why I'm asking you to test me by saying don't test me. Nothing important comes up as conversation anymore. I'm supposed to die because y'all can't handle intelligent conversation? Nobody's willing to pay to learn how to think cleanly and clearly about everything, to not separate humans from everything else. It's just E equals MC squared, y'all. It applies. It applies. Now I'll test you. Harmony, y'all.